Before you go, just hear me out. Have you ever noticed that when you stop pushing so hard, life just starts flowing more smoothly? It's strange, but the moment you stop chasing something, it starts finding its way to you. Relationships work the same way. You might feel like she's slipping away, growing distant, and everything in you screams to hold on tighter. But here's the kicker. That reaction? It's usually what drives her further away. I know, you're scared to lose her. You feel like if you just said the right words or reminded her how good things used to be, she'd come back around. But what if I told you that mindset is exactly what's holding you back? That the real shift happens when you do the thing you fear most, letting go of control. Let's break this down, not with tactics or tricks, but by shifting how you see the whole situation. Because once you do, you'll never find yourself desperate for someone's attention again. 1. She's not pulling away, she's responding to your shift. When a woman starts to distance herself, it doesn't always mean it's the beginning of the end. More often, she's reacting to something that changed in the dynamic. In the early stages, she felt drawn to your mystery, your presence, your vibe. But over time, maybe you started revolving your world around her, texting all the time, always checking in, being too available. What might feel like love to you can feel like pressure to her. When she doesn't have to earn your attention anymore, it loses its spark. Most guys respond by pushing even harder, getting emotional, trying to fix things, but that only makes things worse. The real solution? Take a step back. Not as a trick, but to restore balance. Give her space to miss what she once felt. Let her remember what made you attractive to her in the first place. 2. Attraction comes from your energy, not your words. You've probably seen it. The quiet guy who barely says much but still draws people in. That's because real attraction isn't about saying the perfect thing, it's about the energy you bring. If you're anxious, needy, or insecure, she'll pick up on that without you saying a word. You could say all the right things, but if your vibe is off, it won't land. Instead of convincing her with words, stand in your power. Be grounded, be calm, be sure of yourself without needing her to validate you. When she feels that confidence, that inner peace, she'll start feeling something different too: curiosity, intrigue, and attraction. 3. Predictability kills the spark. Think about your favorite song. The first time you heard it, it gave you chills. But if you played it on repeat every day, it would lose that magic. That's what happens in relationships when everything becomes routine. If she knows exactly what you're going to say, when you'll text, or that you'll always be available, the emotional spark dims. There's no mystery, no chase. That doesn't mean you have to play games. It just means you need to get back to your life, the version of you that had hobbies, goals, and ambition. The you she was initially drawn to. Let her feel like she's a part of your world again, not the center of it. 4. Distance can spark desire. If it's real. Think about the last time you missed something deeply. It wasn't because it was always there, it was because it wasn't. We crave what isn't constantly available. If you're always texting, calling, or showing up at her every whim, she doesn't get a chance to feel your absence. But when you genuinely step back, not to manipulate her, but to give her and yourself space, that's when she starts to notice. That's when she starts to wonder. And that's when the emotional shift begins. 5. If she doesn't come back, it wasn't meant to be. This might be hard to hear, but not every woman is supposed to stay in your life. And that's not a loss, it's clarity. If she walks away and doesn't return, it's a sign. Because the woman you're meant to be with, she won't need chasing. She'll choose you willingly, even when you're not trying so hard. And the way to attract that kind of woman? Become the kind of man who doesn't chase, but attracts. That starts with knowing your worth and never trying to prove it to someone who can't see it. 6. The one shift that changes everything. Here's the bottom line: you don't need to chase, you need to level up. The guys who get ghosted, who feel walked over, they're the ones who tie their value to whether she stays or goes. But the men who truly stand out, they're focused on themselves, on building a life that naturally draws people in. So ask yourself, are you trying to get her back? Or are you trying to get yourself back? Because the moment you start reconnecting with who you were before all the worry and overthinking, everything begins to shift. Women can sense when a man is aligned with his purpose. That's the energy that pulls them in. So stop chasing, start becoming. Because once you do that, everything else, the right people, the right love, it all starts falling into place. If this message spoke to you, don't just watch, apply it. You deserve a life and love that aligns with your worth, not your worries. If you got value from this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more real talk, and drop a comment below. Let me know where you're at in your journey. Remember, you don't need to chase anything that's meant for you. Focus on becoming the version of yourself that you're proud of, and everything else will follow. Until next time, stay grounded, stay focused, and keep becoming better.